With this WVLI News Update, I'm Rob West, back with a look at today's news right after this.
Stay connected to your community, even on the go. The WVLI Podcast Network brings you 3 great local shows. The WVLI News Update keeps you informed. Kankakee Valley Community Happenings gets you ready for the weekend. And This One Time in Kankakee shares the incredible stories of our area. Find the WVLI Podcast Network wherever you get your podcasts or at WVLI927.com. The voices you trust beyond the dial.
Manteno Mayor Annette LaMore opened last night's village board meeting by reading a lengthy statement that she'd prepared for the night. During the address, Mayor LaMore said she wanted to explain what she called the facts and reasonings behind some of her recent actions as village president.
In the most recent election, the voters of Manteno chose new leadership and a new direction for our community. They elected me as village president and also elected 4 out of 5 candidates who shared a vision for greater transparency, accountability, and putting residents first. The message from voters was clear. They wanted change. They did not want to continue doing things the same way they had been done in the past. As village president, my responsibility is to represent the interests of all Manteno residents and to follow through on the priorities that they voted for.
LaMore said that she sees the current conflict as being a resistance to the changes that she wants to make as mayor. She went on to outline several concerns she had with village attorney Joe Kankar.
Because of these concerns and others, I made the decision that Manteno residents would be better served with stronger legal representation. My decision to hire the law firm of the Visellis was made with the understanding that we needed legal counsel capable of navigating the conflict, resistance to change, and difficult circumstances that we have experienced during recent village board meetings.
Mayor LaMore noted that there is a hearing in Kankakee County Court this morning, and it's expected to clear up the question of legal representation for the village. You can listen to Mayor LaMore's entire speech on our podcasting platforms or on the Village of Manteno's YouTube channel. A former Paxton Buckley Loda teacher is avoiding prison after pleading guilty to sexual assault charges. Paul Muser was sentenced to 30 months of probation and is required to register as a sex offender. Charging documents say Muser invited a child to his home to have sex last December. The former driver's ed teacher resigned in March after being charged and placed on administrative leave. Village of Manteno set a deadline for Gotion to have a fully staffed fire brigade at last night's village board meeting. According to trustees Joel Geske and Mike Barry, the requirements are the battery plant must have a staff on duty of at least 6 firefighters at all times. According to the memorandum of understanding handed out by trustee Geske at last night's meeting, one of the fire brigade members have to be qualified as an incident commander, while another has to be qualified as an incident safety officer. If Gotion does not comply by August 31st of this year, Geske says their occupancy permit could be pulled, which would make the company unable to operate. Good news if you like a cup of coffee or 2 in the morning. The American Heart Association says research indicates consuming up to 5 cups of coffee a day is generally safe for most adults. Mark Mayfield has more.
According to a scientific statement released on Monday, the association said the research also suggests that regularly consuming caffeinated coffee without added sugars, flavors, or cream was linked to a lower risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, heart failure, and some irregular heart rhythms. However, researchers cautioned that studying the effects of caffeine on the cardiovascular system is challenging because the benefits could be related to compounds in coffee other than caffeine. The statement added that additional research is needed on coffee and other caffeine-containing products. I'm Mark Mayfield.
During last night's Bourbonnais Village Board meeting, trustees passed their appropriations ordinance for the new fiscal year. Village Finance Director Tara Latz noted the ordinance sets legal spending limits for the year.
This includes all funds of the village, which is about 8 funds, including the general fund and all the special funds. The general fund total appropriation is about $23.4 million, and the total special funds are $10.1 million, making the total village-wide appropriation $33.5 million for fiscal year 27.
Latz pointed out that total shows about a 3% increase from last year. The ordinance has to be filed in the county by the end of the month. Trustees also last night held a moment of silence during the meeting for the Bourbonnais Canine Officer Knight, who recently passed away. The Illinois State Board of Education released new guidelines on the use of artificial intelligence in schools. Guidelines, they say, that were written with the help of AI programs like ChatGPT. Jake LaMore has the story.
Rob, Capital News Illinois reports that state lawmakers called for the report in legislation that passed in 2025. The legislation came in response to growing concerns about the risks and dangers that AI poses to student learning. The 409-page document includes a disclosure about how AI was used to draft some of the content and how AI-generated information was checked and vetted by humans. One education advocate called that an example of the ethical use of AI. The document is available on the State Board Education website. I'm Jake LaMore.
Next installment of Kankakee County State's Attorney Jim Rowe's Real Justice Fishing Club is coming up tonight at the Municipal Pond in Bourbonnais.
We're trying to get kids and teens to trade those cell phone screens for fishing rods and some exaggerated fish stories. These events are free. They are open to anglers of all skill levels and ages, from kids all the way up to adults and seniors, and everything you need is provided. Fishing pole, tackle, bait. All we want you to do is come on out and have a great time.
Real Justice Fishing Club runs from 5 till 7:30 tonight. There's more on the state's attorney's website or his Facebook page. In sports, White Sox won last night. Cubs and Cards both lost. Sox beat the Rangers 10-3, giving them 6 wins in their last 7 games. The Sox at the Rangers again tonight. Cubs opened their series at home against the Tigers with an 8-6 loss. Same 2 teams there tonight. The Cards lost 3-2 to the Angels in Anaheim. Cards face the Angels again tonight. Bears rookies report to training camp on Saturday. The Sky are at the Liberty tomorrow night. Chicago Fire FC back in action tomorrow night following the World Cup break. The Fire will be at Inter Miami. That is a look at news and sports here on this Tuesday. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe, everybody. I'm Rob West.
This one time in Kankakee, my stalker bought me a PS4 that I gladly accepted.
On the latest episode of This One Time in Kankakee, Will Rasmussen unpacks a wild, completely true story of awkward workplace encounters, industrial freezers, and a massive tracking mystery.
She would just give them my license plate and they'd run it for her.
Listen to This One Time in Kankakee now wherever you get your podcasts.